those things that could change without causing any problem are all of the safety issues, our safety codes that we did. And in addition, Apfo is no longer in as the county law.
It can be
So
modified without impacting.
It can be modified without impacting the
Exactly.
DRRA.
Right.
Exactly.
Which was with, all those were big concerns from the community
I
standpoint.
heard them, and, they're really important, and one of the things that people really depend on for development and knowing that it can go forward is their reliance on Apfo. And so, to me, that was particularly important.
Vote Council Resolution 103 as amended.
Dr. Ball.
This is a lot of the meat of what we have between this and the MOU. I think we really can do some good things for our community. And so with that, my vote is yes.
Mr. Fox.
No, I agree, and, I appreciate, all of my colleagues, working together on this, and including Councilwoman Terrassa. I think a lot of your ideas are incorporated throughout as well. So, I think, we try to listen, I think all of us try to listen to each other and to the community and everything else, as well as the administration. Carl DiLorenzo, appreciate you helping along with Councilwoman Siggety in herding cats. I think this has, been a very collaborative piece that has, I think it's an improvement on our original legislation and an improvement on where we started this go-around. So I think with that, I vote yes.
Ms. Siggety.
And I, as many people know, would like to have seen more. And 900 wasn't enough for me, and I would have liked to have given the opportunity. So as I look at this, I thank the folks from the CDHC and their expertise that they brought to this from the very beginning of us asking you to look at it. I appreciate the expertise of our Housing Commission. I appreciate the emotions that have been around this and the desire on everybody's part to see more affordability and a wider range of affordability in our community. As I have said over and over again, this is a very personal issue for me, and her name is Bridget. So I have to say to Mr. Carbo and to the Housing Commission and to our Department of Housing and Community Development, as you see opportunity and as we are no longer here and others take our places, don't hesitate to come back and ask for more. Push the envelope and make sure that we are, in fact, an inclusive community. So I will vote yes.
Ms. Terrassa.
I'm sure my vote is not going to surprise anybody at this point. I think my plan is simple, or was simple. It's gone now. 15% inclusionary zoning, I think that made a lot of sense. I think Ms. Siggety spoke to excitement for another council. I'd like to spare another council this type of excitement. I think we've had about all the excitement we can get, and I'd like this to be, at least this part of the excitement to be over with for the future of Columbia. I'm concerned about this plan. I think that increasing the density at this point does not make sense. I think that a lot of things about this don't make sense. I think this leaves CDHC paying a lot of gap financing for a lot of these projects that wouldn't be necessary if we just required 15%. And I appreciate a lot of the changes that were made in the DRA. There are some that I think will be helpful. There are some things in the MOU that I like, but I don't like that they're in an MOU. I think that's a problem. I'm concerned that a lot of the votes on things that made a lot of sense in here had to be no, because in the MOU it says you can't vote for anything that's considered a material change. I may have already said this, but the DRA, the length of the DRA being 30 years is certainly an improvement over 40, but it's still significantly more, certainly double anything that we've done before, and that's a concern as well. So with that, my vote is no.
Mr. Weinstein.
Well, I'll start by saying that I appreciate the simplicity. It's one of my favorite sayings. It's an Einstein quote that make things as simple as possible, but no simpler. And Mr. Ross and I have had many conversations about this very issue of simplicity. But then came the conversations, and there were many, many which I think I had to have my colleagues repeat from years ago, and I appreciate their patience in doing that. But I think, as Mr. Fox sort of described, particularly the housing part, I don't want to go over all the various parts that were part of compromise, conversation, to lead to a better product, a product that was as simple as it could be to achieve all the various goals that we were trying to achieve. And like Ms. Siggety, I was starting at a point of as many affordable units as possible. I think the product that we came out with on that score is as good as we could have hoped, while also achieving some excellent additional benefits to the community, whether it's in cash payments or whether it's in innovative programming or simply allowing the projects to move forward as designed. So I think that we've put a lot of work into this. The community has had their say. We have done as good a job as I think we can to incorporate as much of that as possible. And with that, I vote yes.